Hello, this is Steve with Apogee Hardwood Cleaning. I'm here for another blog series. This one we're doing is Preserving History, Tips for Maintaining Wood Floors in Historic Homes. Alright, so we're going to go through some basic tips here of how to take care of a hardwood floor. Most of these are pretty typical for any type of hardwood floor, except we're talking about historic homes in this article. So number one, you want to do gentle cleaning practices. Even though a hardwood floor is hard, it is pretty durable, you want to be careful about how you treat the floor. My recommendation is to basically daily sweep the floor with a flat mop using a microfiber pad. So that will get the dust and dirt up off the floors, because if you're walking on the floor, even with socks on, if you get dirt and stuff built up in there, it can still scratch the floor. So you really want to keep the floors clean as possible. So I recommend doing that on a daily basis. On a regular basis, maybe weekly or maybe a couple times a week, you want to vacuum the floor and get everything up. And probably about a monthly basis, you want to be out there cleaning the floor with a good wood floor cleaner. Don't use too much water, but you'll need some. And clean the floor up on a regular basis, maybe weekly to monthly, depending on, it really all depends on how much you're using the floor. So the more traffic you have on the floor, the more often you need to be doing some of this stuff. So if you've got a really high traffic area like a restaurant or something, you may need to be cleaning it on a daily basis versus weekly or monthly that someone could get away with in a home. Alright, so the next item on here is moisture management. Something very important on floors is the moisture level, because wood expands as it gets wet and contracts when it dries. So the fact that it gets wet or dry in and of itself is not an issue. It is the changing of humidity levels, the changing of that creates the problem. Because when it starts expanding, it needs room to do that. And when it's contracting, it can start creating gaps. So yeah, gaps in your floor, warping of the floors, cupping of the floors, all these things are humidity level issues with the floor. So you really want to try to control the humidity in the house. In some of the older historic houses, that's going to be harder to do. You're going to be more susceptible to the weather outside versus some of the newer homes that are better sealed and have better control systems. So this is really an area that you're going to have to deal with in more historic homes and trying to control that. The other thing you want to do is deal with issues promptly. You don't want to, especially with wood floors, you don't want to let issues linger, because they're only going to get worse. And the worse they get, the more difficult it is to deal with the issues. So you want to deal with them quickly. Sunlight damage. Sunlight damage can really mess with the color of the floor. Sunlight, the UV rays from sunlight will fade the color on the floors, and the only way to fix that is to sand the floors down and refinish the floors. So that's something you really want to take into consideration is sunlight damage. Use area rugs and furniture pads. You definitely want to do those as something to protect your floors. Consult with wood flooring experts. So anytime you have any type of issue with the floor, you probably want to bring in a specialist, especially if you've got really historic level floors. You want to get someone in there to look at those early on so they can deal with the issues before the floor gets really bad. And then last here, you got to consider professional refinishing. There are times where the floors need to be refinished. Once they get worn down to a certain level, you really should restore them. And you want to save the historical nature of the floors. You're going to want to consider someone that has some experience doing those types of floors to do that. So that's this blog today. This is a short one. It's just basically maintaining and cleaning your floors to preserve them for the long term. Have a great day. Thank you.